The root of all your trading problems comes from one word, that is money. And not in the sense that you're thinking of. You're probably thinking not having enough capital, trying to chase to make money. But the truth is, this word has a much deeper meaning. And the reality is that it's not my fault, your fault, or anybody's fault that this word is what's keeping us from actually being profitable. The main issue I see from people, and this goes to a psychological level, is that we associate money with different things. We associate money with being worthy. We associate money with being a person of value. We associate money with making it. So it gives us such an emphasis of trying to chase the money in our trading because we want all of those psychological things, even though we may be aware of it or we may not be aware of it, that's holding us back. And I want to say it's not our fault because society programs us to make us think that it's all about the money. And it might sound cringe, it might sound cliche, but it's the truth of the root behind all your problems. The root on why you're making the mistakes you're making, why you're having FOMO, why you're overchasing. It goes deeper than that. It's not just simply, hey, I'm an undisciplined trader. What we really need to do, and what makes it trading so difficult, we have to fight demons that are so big, such as rearranging, rethinking how we think our life, rethinking how society has programmed us to think about a word that we're used to every day. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the steps I've taken to dissociate myself from money and how I rethink my trading, how I rethink how things like FOMO, overtrading affected me. Before we get into the video, 90% of you guys that watch this are not subscribed, so subscribe down below for more trading advice or psychological advice like this. So first and foremost, the money that is affecting our life comes from most people a point of struggles. A point of struggle and looking at things like social media or everywhere else that we look at, other people that have money don't have the same struggles that we have. But the truth is, the first thing is that we have a really hard time understanding that everyone has struggles. We have a really hard time understanding that every person you see has suffered one way or another. I had someone tell me a quote that's really stuck out with me, and it was that every single person has a story that will make you cry. Right? Isn't that so powerful to think that every single person has gone through something that if you read it in a book, you'd be like, wow, this guy had it rough. Now, some people have it rougher than others. You always gotta be thankful for what you have because your situation could be worse. Every single person that's watching this video, you have a story. I have my own stories, and we have to understand that we have to use that as the first way to help us, which is giving us a why. Giving us a why we're doing something, starts slowly removing the money aspect and starts thinking about other things. Starts thinking about real goals, real purpose, real thoughts that will help us not give up. It will help us not think of this, not think about the money. We're thinking about our goals. So that's the first thing I did. I asked myself, why am I really doing this? And you have to ask yourself that and write that down. Now you might say, hey, I'm doing this because I want a Lambo. And let me tell you this, your why needs to be more powerful than that. I have driven every exotic car you can think of. I have owned my own handful of exotic cars that I dreamed of when I was a kid. But I found out really fast that that gets old. That why is not powerful enough to keep you going. It's not powerful enough to fight things like money, to fight our mindset. Our mindset is really strong. Your subconscious and conscious are really powerful, more powerful than you can even think of. So you have to give yourself a true why. And think about going back, what is your story? What is about your life that you wish, if you were in a movie, you would like to change? What is in life something that if I followed you around and was watching everywhere, I'd want you to be? Whether it's struggles with family, partners, friends, right? You have to really think, and what do you want to change about that? Let's say for me, I came from an immigrant family from Italy. My dad worked at Walmart and my stepmom, I think she was working at CVS. So what I wanted to do with myself, I had no money. I never went out. I never had a car. I never could go to my friends' houses. I could never get a new video game for Christmas. So my why I wanted to change was I didn't want that for my future self. I didn't want that for my son. Once I had my son, or he's 5 now, I'm 28. So when I was 22, I pretty much had him. I just turned 28, so don't make jokes. For my son, I thought when I was younger, all the times I was like, man, I just wish I wasn't poor. I just wish I could have gotten myself this. So I use that as a powerful reason to give me a why on why I can't give up, why I gotta stick to my plan, why I should have to lock in, why I can't waste time playing video games all day, watching YouTube all day when I have things to do, when I have things to get done. Now again, apply that for you. What is your why? And eventually that why led me to helping my parents. Eventually that why helped me. I bought an apartment, actually this just happened. I bought an apartment for my mother-in-law. All you guys don't know, I've been with my wife for almost a decade now. Before I had any money. At the time when I was first with her, I had no money. So I was staying in my mother-in-law house. Why? Because my parents weren't really happy the way I was getting my life. I was trying to trade. I didn't really want to go to school. So I couldn't live with them, but also I didn't want to live anywhere else. So she helped me out and she gave me more purpose. And now that I have the means, I can help her. And you know how much more powerful it is than just caring about materialistic things? Materialistic things are fun. They're fun. I buy them all the time. I have a good time. But again, they're usually, once you get to your goals, you can do that. They're not going to help you to your goals because you're not strong enough. The M4, M3 that you want, that's not going to be a why powerful enough to get you where you can be. Now, how also do we relate our mindset and money to trading? We have to think what trading is all about. And I want you to write in these notes. And it's a quote that I've been saying for years now, but I feel people aren't really grasping this quote. And we have to understand what are the charts, right? If you look at a chart, what is that? You might think, Antonio, it's the algorithm that ICT talks about. It's this, it's that. The truth is, charts are simply emotions. Charts are emotions. I'll write this in red because it's really important. Charts are emotions. This is why we can find patterns that repeat themselves. Because what do we do as humans? Emotions repeat themselves. This is why you see cycles. This is why you see people form into a trade, goes parabolic, then it nukes back down. We've seen those over and over with so many stocks, crypto charts, forex, commodities. You're seeing it with gold currently. It's emotions. So geopolitical events typically cause on the micro time the emotions. So when we're looking at the charts, we're really what we're trying to be. We're trying to be psychiatrists to the markets. Now we do so obviously we can't be in people's mind and read their emotions, but what do? We read the charts, we understand the patterns that the charts are telling us to then tie us back to the emotions. And that's how we can find patterns. And that's how I got into my trading. That's how when you guys are like, Antonio, why does the golden pocket work? That's why. Those emotions that can repeat themselves. Because if I have a strong trend up, I'm not going to go up forever. I'm going to wait for the best possible time, which will be my golden pocket level, which is 0.66 down here and 0.618. I thought about it in that regard. How can I use the charts, read the charts to understand human emotions? And that's the way I like to always think. I always like to think where, even if I'm long, where would bearish people want to enter? That's like how I would take profit levels. If I was short, where would bullish price want to head towards? Right? So I'm always putting myself on both sides by understanding the charts of the emotion aspect, both the long traders and the short traders. And when you can really think about that is when you really can change your trading. Now, when we're trading the charts, we also have to operate from another really important mindset, the mindset that we're not operating from scarcity. So scarcity is really powerful because as we get into trading and leading back to money, we're operating from a level of scarcity. So I hope that's how you spell it. Scarcity. So scarcity and money related, a lot of us when we first came to trading, and I was one of them, we have no money, so we're operating from a mindset of scarcity. We're operating from a mindset that's like, I'm scared when I'm entering this. I'm gonna be greedy because if I see $50, I wanna take that money because I don't think I can make more, right? The scarcity mindset doesn't only apply to money, but applies to your self-worth and you as an individual. You don't only have scarcity of money, because money is just a mindset. Being wealthy is just a mindset. You're operating with scarcity mindset of, I don't have the self-worth, I don't have the skills, I don't have what it takes to make a lot of money. So I should settle for bad trades. I should settle for less. I should settle for who I am, which is not a good trader. And it all starts with your mindset. When you start understanding that, hey, scarcity doesn't exist. Almost every rich person out there, and of course not all, some were born with money, made it from having no money. But what did they have? They have the right mindset of wealth. So we need to change this scarcity, we need to change this, and we need to start coming from a place of wealth. And wealth in trading, obviously, it's gonna come in one or two ways. One is belief in yourself. Belief, which means you believe you can do this. You believe that your trades are gonna play out. You believe that you can pass your challenge account. You believe you can trade your love account. You believe you can get payouts. But if you don't believe that, when you trade, the charts are gonna give you that. They're gonna give you that you cannot make it. The reason being, because the charts are human emotions. The charts, the way you trade, if I look at your trades, I can almost tell what you're like as an individual. Because the trades can't hide your emotions. You can try to hide your emotions anywhere you go. School, work, friends, you can lie to them. Oh, how are you doing today? I'm doing great. In reality, you're not doing great. But when you get into the charts, you have to face those demons. You have to face yourself, whether you like it or not. That's why you have to think positive. You have to believe that you can make this. You have to believe that you have a wealthy mindset. And when you have that wealthy mindset, your belief will start resonating to the charts. And it's all stems from the money, right? So look at the way we're thinking this. How we think what's all about money, it's what ruining us. And changing our mindset to a wealth mindset will then give us true belief. And the true belief in ourselves then will lead and translate to the charts. And that will translate back to money. I'll do some dollar signs down here. It's a whole cycle. It's a whole cycle. But we're trying to skip all this stuff. We're trying to skip all this in the middle. We're trying to skip our mind. We're trying to avoid ourselves. We're trying to avoid what really are the deeper issues within ourselves. And we're just trying to get from the money mindset, straight to the money. And I see this all the time. I see this in every trader, right? Because again, if you look at it on a surface level, and what we're doing here, we're looking at the surface and we're going much deeper. Because if we all just look at the surface, we all will be profitable, right? If we're like, yeah, make money, right? I just want to make money, so I'm getting into trading. We all, the stat that 93% of traders fail wouldn't be the thing. But the thing is, we have to really understand this. We have to understand this. And I can tell you this from experience, not only because I've done it with myself, but we've done it with thousands of students around the world. We have a really high success rate for the people that work with me because I focus on things like this. I give them the belief. As their mentor, I give them the belief. I give them the wealth mindset. I trade from a level that's like, I know my trade's gonna hit. I trade from a level of confidence. And confidence is not arrogance. Confidence is just simple belief. You believe in yourself. You believe in your trading. Now, some things you can do to help that is, of course, this is a side note, this is an actual step you can take, is backtest. Especially when you're first starting out. Backtest and forward test. These are going to help your belief because then you can believe in your strategy. Every single mindset that I'm showing you applies to the charts. Like, that's what you have to understand. This is, when people say, hey, Antonio, trading psychology is BS. The reason is they're saying that because they don't know how it ties back into the charts. That person doesn't know how that ties back into their trading, right? And it sounds really like, okay, I'm just hoping and dreaming. The hope and dream It's only for the people that watch this video, get motivated for 5 minutes, they'll do something, and then they stop. They're not taking actions. You're hoping and you're dreaming, and your law of attraction, you visualize yourself being a winner. That happens to the people that are not only thinking, but they're taking actions. Every single time you do this and you think about your mindset, associate that with what steps can I take? How can I believe in myself? Just give you 2, like test, forward test. Take your paper trading account, invest in yourself, read a book. And remember that investing in yourself comes from fixing your mindset. That's what investing in yourself really does. Investing in yourself by watching this YouTube video, which is free, but it's an investment because it's your time. And we have to understand that time is a really important investment, is helping this. This is what you're investing in. Improving your wealth, improving your belief, which eventually will show into your charts. This is why when I have traders that have a really good mindset, they seem to do well right away. And the truth is, they're doing well right away because they have this belief in this wealth mindset. Now, how can we, if we're losing at trading, how can we have belief in yourself, right? Because we're all gonna start out, and more likely you will lose in the beginning. And this will tie back to the money. The belief in yourself and the wealth mindset doesn't come from you making money, right? Which again, you may think, hey, I'm here to make money. That's the only way I should grade myself. Because in life, we see people that have money, those are the successful people. They are better than us, they're better than most. They were so good they made money. But the truth is, they failed more times than you probably even tried. The truth is, you should not be grading, you should not be judging yourself on money. Where you should be judging yourself is the process. And I've talked about this extensively because it's the most truthful thing that I can teach you. If I can only teach you one thing, understand that the process comes before the money. You should be judging yourself, is the process that I'm doing correct? Did I follow my plan? Did I overtrade? Did I have FOMO? Did I have a good stop loss? Did I even have a stop loss? If you are following the process, that's how you should be judging yourself. If you have a red day, but you felt like you took a really high quality setup, you should not feel down about that day. We all lose. I lose all the time, right? I lost 2 days ago. Today I won, yesterday I won. But I'm not judging myself because if I made money or lost money. I'm really judging myself. How did I perform, right? You ever thought about if you ever were in a sports team, you had that one kid that just works hard. And you're like, man, this guy doesn't score the goals, doesn't score the touchdown, but he's there grinding every single day. That guy tends to be the coach's favorite player. Why? Because they understand that guy is focused on the process and the results are going to come for him. They understand as a coach, you see people, you see everybody. You see the person who has natural talent. You see the guy that didn't have natural talent. And the number one, and they did a study of this, I don't remember the exact university, but I read this. The number one thing that showed successful people wasn't IQ, wasn't natural skill. It was them sticking to a process, them having resilience, them not giving up every time they were knocked down. That was the number one thing that this study that showed people that will be successful in life. Because again, the money is just an outcome of everything else. We're starting with the money, that's what we want, that's our goal. But the money is literally the last step. The money is the last thing we should be worrying about, but we think about it first because we see people's end results. You see me here with money, you see me here teaching you, but you didn't see me when I was a student because nobody cares, right? We care about the end results as people, right? When you see a movie, you remember the ending. When you read a book, how did the book end? How did the game end? How was the football game? What was the score last night? You're not there looking at me when I was struggling because that's not fun, it's not exciting. So as humans, we're programmed to think about this end goal without realizing all the steps before. So what if I told you, hey, you never played the game of basketball, but I'm gonna put you in an NBA game. You're gonna get destroyed, you're gonna look like a fool. And so that's what we're trying to do. You're skipping all the process, the whole steps. You're skipping changing your mindset, finding the right strategy, learning from your mistakes. You're trying to jump straight to the end. So if you jump playing in high school, training, playing in college, getting drafted, you're not gonna make it. And if I tell you in that regard it makes sense, for some reason when I tell you guys about money and trading, you don't want to accept it. And you have to learn to accept it. The process will also help the people that are perfectionists. You may be one of those people, a lot of us are. You're thinking, hey, I'm waiting for the right time to start. Hey, I need to collect data. I need to backtest, forward test every day. You're not actually taking action. I would rather have you just start putting in the work than waiting for the right time. Because the right time never comes. There's not one person in the world that knew exactly, hey, this is the right time for me to start a company, this is the right time for me to start trading, this is the right time for me to start whatever. They all just took that leap of faith. And the leap of faith, guess where it comes from? Having the belief and wealth mindset. Believe in yourself. Hope this video helped. If you're not subscribed, please do so. If you want to learn from me directly and work with me one-on-one, I will leave the link down below. As always, I'll see you guys in the next video.